What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Daily Dose Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Really helps out the channel, guys. This podcast is sponsored by Jackpack LLC as well as 1GM Construction. Tap in with them in Albuquerque for all your roofing and construction needs. Let them know you heard it on the Daily Dose Podcast for 10% off any service. Gonna be a great episode, guys. Hell of a weekend of fights. There are actually no fights coming up as far as UFC. I'm not sure on boxing or anything like that, but we got a ton of stuff to get over, as well as plenty of current topics. Let's get right into it, guys. The Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships, man. On Friday, they had a great card, guys. These cards, if you're really looking for entertainment, these cards are action-packed every time. I mean, majority of the fights end in finishes. Yoel Romero made his debut, and man, he bodied a poor soul. He dropped the guy like 3 times before they finally called it. That stuff is just crazy. It's a car crash, 2-minute rounds. Very entertaining, though, so shout outs to them. I've actually covered some of their events live before, and as well as I hope to cover that Perry Platinum versus Stevens here in a couple weeks, so that should be cool. Now, UFC Noche, before the card even gets going, Kelvin Gastelum eats way too many tacos, misses weight by 5 pounds. Guys, this dude is lucky to still be in the UFC as many times as he has missed weight. Now, he missed weight. He's lucky he got a very entertaining win. Bit of a war, landed a lot of good shots. Dana still might clip him. If he doesn't clip him, he has a very, very good relationship because, man, that's crazy. We know he used to always miss weight at 70. He jumps up to 85 and still misses weight, guys. Like, come on, man. That's crazy. So, let's see what we got. I guess the day before, Bilal Muhammad comes out and says that Jared Gordon was hit by a car the day before, which is absolutely insane. I mean, I guess he must have needed the paycheck, unfortunately, right? If he actually got hit by a car, and he was wearing a knee brace in the fight. So, man, that's pretty wild. That's unfortunate. Hopefully he's okay, and maybe the UFC can help him out with something. So, other than that, let's take a look at it. I mean, they were all pretty decent. You know, there was some finishes, a no contest. Of course, Sadiq Dumas rather, got hit in the nuts pretty quick. The first fight was a TKO. Like I said, Rafa Garcia TKO Jared Gordon, but allegedly he had a car accident the day before. The Rob Font David Martinez, I thought it could have gone either way, a split at minimum, but it went unanimous to David Martinez. And Diego Lopez, man, I don't know what's going on. Just the involvement of MMA. Spinning back elbows are on the rise, man. Caught Jean Silva, finished him. Jean Silva was pretty beat up, head cut, eyes. Pretty crazy. I definitely called it going the other way, but that's what happened. Shout outs to him. I saw Aljo calling him out. Now Aljo's best bet with Diego is just to get him right to the ground. Definitely don't want to stand with him, so let's get into some boxing, guys. Of course, the Canelo Crawford. Now, again, these fights take forever. They started at like 3 in the afternoon, ended at midnight. You know what I mean? I only tuned in for the co-main and the main. The co-main, in my opinion, so those guys were young, undefeated, hungry fighters. Both talked a lot, kind of hyped it up, but in my opinion, they didn't deliver. I think maybe the moment got to them. They didn't quite perform. Both young guys. That's a huge stage. It was 70,000 people in attendance. It looked absolutely nuts. So it's understandable. I don't think that was the best choice for a co-main. Not even lying. I literally dozed off and fell asleep. Thankfully, I woke back up in time to see the master performance in which I told you guys that it is way different when you're fighting someone who's your same size, same IQ, same everything. Terrence Crawford comes out and pitches a shutout. Easily 11 rounds to 1, maybe 10 rounds to 2 if you want to be nice. It was beautiful, guys. The biggest problem is kind of like I said last week. Canelo's been used to fighting these huge guys. Excuse me. Canelo's used to fighting these huge guys where he could pop shots, right? Where he can just snipe them with one shot. The Kovalev fight, he was down like every round almost, and then he just caught him. So the thing about it was he never had that chance with Terrence Crawford, and so he just kept trying to throw one punch at a time. and Terrence with either covering up, dropping combos. He did great. I mean, Terrence just came forward, put it on him. One thing I've noticed about Canelo in the last two fights, he doesn't adjust, right? His game plan with William Skull, William was obviously running around avoiding him. He never cut off the ring and switched up the game plan. With Crawford, he was getting very frustrated. He kept trying to just land that big shot instead of jabbing, feinting more, doing some other stuff. And Crawford did his thing, man. He exchanged. He got in the pocket and was dropping some big shots. He came out in the ninth round and put up a crazy flurry. One of the highlight moments of it is Canelo famously has, in very many fights we've seen, where he pulls back and looks the other way. And he did that against Crawford, and Crawford cracked him, man. What a performance by Terrence Crawford. Hard not to put him in the top 3 overall. Undisputed in 3 different weight classes. Champion at 135. Undisputed at there as well. Champ at 140. Undisputed at 47. Fought at 154. Undisputed at 168. Absolutely insane, guys. Before you dorks start bashing Canelo and this and that, it was just the better man that night, I think Crawford pretty much was kind of hinting he'll drop down to 160. I don't think he'll fight at 168. Shows how great Canelo is and that he's big enough, and has enough power to kind of stick in there, take the shots, and then land the big shot on the bigger guy. But that's because they don't see it, right? He snipes him. He lands this good shot, and he just never got the big shot on Crawford. Any shots he landed, they weren't necessarily significant. So hell of a performance by Crawford. I told you guys it would be way different fighting someone that's fast, that's smart, and that is willing to go toe-to-toe. And Crawford beat him on the outside when they got in tight. He was landing some great uppercuts. I mean, I could just go on all day. Hell of a performance by Crawford. Hell of a career. That is just absolutely insane. Nothing but respect for both guys. One thing about Canelo I like, at his level especially, he didn't make any excuses. He didn't blame it on this or blame it on that. He said, hey, there's a better man. I think Canelo will look great in his next fight. I think Crawford will look great. Canelo might even be the champ at 68 again. Crawford is just a hell of a fighter. He had a great game plan. Shout outs to him, man. It was super cool. I remember watching in my bed being like, wow, just to be a part of history like this. It was really, really cool, And then super early Sunday, Inoue, easy win. I mean, he's just a beast, man. I don't know who takes this guy out. Love watching him fight. Super entertaining. Has a whole country behind him. It just, being that he's a bigger market over there, they're always weird times. His fights are on at 5 in the morning on a Sunday or a Tuesday and stuff. So, but definitely he's a beast and love to see it. We got some pretty good fight announcements. Errol Spence versus Jermell Charlo. Now, these guys were former stablemates, good friends and stuff like that. Very interesting. I wonder what happened there. As far as that fight, I don't know. I think I'll take Jermell just because I'm not sure how Errol Spence is going to look. He hasn't fought since the Crawford fight. He obviously took a lot of damage. So initially, I would go with Jermell Charlo. We'll kind of see how the buildup is, how the training camp go. Maybe decide. But I think that could be a great fight. You got Inoue versus someone else. That's going to be a great fight. I mean, Inoue's just line him up and knock him down. Now Lamont Roach Jr. versus Isak Pitbull Cruz. That should be a great fight. Pitbull's a tough matchup for anybody. He's skilled. More than anything, he's just tough, durable, walks forward, willing to take some to give some. That should be a great fight. I think Lamont can definitely showcase his skills, stay on the outside, and kind of do his thing. So, man, what a sad thing. Sunday morning, after a historic night in boxing, we wake up to the unfortunate passing of Ricky Hitman Hatton. Man, prayers to him and his family. Such a tragedy, guys. And again, it shows you, I'm not jumping the gun or anything, but, if he just didn't wake up, it's probably some damage due to boxing, weight cutting, these wars for your guys' entertainment does a lot more than most people realize. So I only say that so much because a lot of people are just so disrespectful and delusional when it comes to fighters. So realize how much they put in, how much they put on the line, and the long-term effects that it has on them and ultimately their families. So prayers for him and his family. You were a legend. Great fights, man. Great career. And I know that as far as coaching and stuff, he was having a big impact. So that's too bad. Moneyberg, guys. All right. I wasn't going to address this, but I've seen too many videos. So long story short, if you guys don't know, there's this big, I guess I haven't done too much research on him, but he seems like he's a pretty rich investor, successful guy. And from the outside, it seems like he's paying a lot of these fighters good money. And so they're all kind of vouching for him, right? He says he got his black belt in 3.5 years. Now, if you got your black belt in 3.5 years, you better be damn good. On the other side, he also says he doesn't really just roll around with people. He doesn't compete. He just rolls with super high-level guys, and he's a black belt. That's very sketchy, guys. You got to roll with brown belts, wild white and blue belts, purple belts. You got to be able to roll with any and everybody, and a true black belt can go to any gym, anywhere, and hold his own, right? So that's one part of it in itself. And the other thing is they said he got it from training 4 hours every day. Now I'm just going to tell you this. This guy looks like an oversized Danny DeVito when he was the bad guy Penguin in Batman. The old school Batman Danny DeVito when he was Penguin. That's what this guy looks like. Big old snowman belly. Again, not trying to bash him necessarily for being overweight. I say that to say there's a 0% chance if anybody grappled at a high level 4 hours every day, you'd be shredded. So sorry, guy. Sorry, buddy. It's not possible. You don't have the skills. You definitely aren't training that much. So, it's all good, man. Like you're super rich. Everybody's going to vouch for you. Definitely not a black belt. Would love to see you compete with somebody to prove everybody otherwise. Other than that, stop it. Stick to your investing. It's just like, I don't know, dorks like that, it disrespects the sport for people who actually put in work and earn it and respect it, So just lying to everybody. Guys, please use your brain. I know recently I said, there's like these cave people that climb into caves and get stuck. The new one is water cave diving. Guys, I saw a video of this guy. It was in a different country. He was attempting to break the world record for what they call death dives. He jumped off this huge cliff, broke his neck, broke his back, broke so many things, went unconscious, barely survived. Guys, what did you expect? What did you think was going to happen? That shit is crazy, guys. Some of you guys need to really think. Strictly just did it. There was nothing on the line besides a world record. You're not getting paid, and it almost cost him his life. So, guys, please knock it off. I saw, tragically someone has already died from underwater cave diving. I don't know what it is, guys, but maybe get on the VR and experience it that way because you guys are playing with your lives, literally. So, hopefully that's a lesson for people. Guys, so I saw this podcast. And it's pretty viral. Most people have seen it. And this girl goes, "Don't love your job, job your love," with some great advice that a mentor gave her. And the guy goes, "Oh my God, I love that." Talk about a guy that has never got with a woman and definitely hasn't been with a woman in years. Like, excuse me? Buddy, she's attractive. I get it. I would have been like, please explain what the hell that means. He went, "Oh, I love that." Yeah, that's what's wrong with y'all goofballs. You let an attractive woman say anything and y'all just ride with it. It was the most weirdest, don't make any sense, and he just rocks with it. Come on, guys. Like, that, you giving people just false perceptions, and yeah, she probably thought she dropped a gem, and that was literally one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in my life. So, get it together, guys. So, we had an unfortunate tragedy last week. Charlie Kirk was shot and killed at one of his his rallies, whatever you want to call it, his get-togethers at a university in Utah. Now, guys, let me tell you this. There's not one person on earth right now that can post a video that can say something that would make me want to shoot them like a coward without them knowing in front of their wife and kids. So that's the first thing. If any of you guys, just based off his videos, based off things he said, anything like that, if you guys agree with what happened, there's something wrong with you, right? I've seen people like, that's what he gets, that's what he deserves. You're not God. You don't decide what anybody deserves or anybody's fate. You know what I mean? That was a horrible tragedy. I'm sure there's people that say way worse stuff, not publicly, and they don't get executed for it. So that was just a terrible, senseless tragedy. Rest in peace to him. I've seen some of his content. He's never rude to anybody. He states the facts. If you can convince him otherwise, he's open ears. That's just not how you handle things, guys. Everybody has to be different and have their own opinion in the world, or it would be a boring place. But again, if you went to social media and said, good, that's what he deserves, there is something wrong with you. You are not God. You don't deserve that. If you've ever lost somebody, I lost my mother and my brother in the same year, so I know what it's like to lose someone. And that woman, his wife lost her husband. his kids lost their father. And that is a terrible, unacceptable thing, guys. America's about freedom of speech. If you don't like what he says, go debate it. These dorks that know they're wrong and they're fucking weirdos and there's nothing they can do about it, so they go do that. You are a coward if you do that. And if you agree with that, man, you are an absolute coward. I'm sorry. So I usually don't get into stuff like that, but yeah, there's not one thing anybody on this earth, I don't even care about anything anybody posts, says. I didn't care about stuff he said, in the sense that would never make me react that way. So if that is what really bothers you and ruins your day, you're a goofball and you've never been through anything in life, and life will be super, super hard for that guy and people who get bothered by such easy things. So that's all I'm going to say on that. Pretty good episode, guys. Such a historic night in boxing, man. I was just super pumped. Again, wasn't really any good fights besides it. Super long event. Hopefully Dana can kind of fix those things, but that was such an historic boxing event. UFC Noche was pretty good. I think there's a lot of good fights coming up. Should end the year on a good one. And some pretty good current topics. Nothing too crazy. As always, guys, before we get out of here, let's end it on the message of the week. Knowledge is power, guys. And knowledge is everywhere. YouTube, books, whether you agree or disagree, you want to go to college, don't want to go to college, there is almost infinite free game on the internet, on ChatGPT, on YouTube, for anything you want to do and pursue in life, right? The only way nothing will happen is if you don't do anything. With some action, with some knowledge, with some information, you can self-educate yourself and take over the world. And I believe that. I believe in you. I believe in everybody. Everybody has a story to tell. Everybody has a journey. Everybody has a path they can walk. You can either be a background character and let life go by, or you can find your purpose, chase your dreams, and live a life worth meaning while you're here. Thank you so much, guys. Episode 29. Truly appreciate all the support. Please keep running up the channel. Like, subscribe, and share. If you'd like to sponsor the podcast, DM me, or the email will be in the link. Thank you so much, guys. See you next week.